I'm Becky.
And I'm Sarah.
And we're doing Bickering book reviews. Today we are talking about My Ideal Boyfriend is a Croissant by Dockrill. I got this book, actually got a copy of the eARC at a conference, but then I ended up downloading it off of, I believe, NetGalley.
I just read the eARC.
Yep. I would never have finished it.
I mean, it's a great cover, and it's a great title.
And that is all.
And
so this book is about Bluebell, and Bluebell is an average 16-year-old living in London, except she's quite overweight. Maybe, we're not sure. After Bluebell ends up at the doctor's office after a particularly bad asthma attack, she is ordered to keep a food diary through the summer. And for the next few months, Bluebell writes about her experiences with her friends, her life at her job, Planet Coffee, and her possible relationship with her cute coworker, Max. So I was not, I wanted to like this book, but I didn't.
So I was nervous about this book because, as I am when I read about books about fat people, because sometimes you're just given a caricature of what people think that fat people are, and that's kind of what this book turned into. Because really, I want to say 75% of the book is her talking about food.
I don't know.
There wasn't enough plot there.
There wasn't a plot. See, and I don't know. I didn't notice that. But what I noticed was the narrative voice is horrible. There's no direction, and she keeps doing ridiculously dumb things.
She does, and the biggest kind of issue for me, which I didn't really realize until I was really halfway through the book, because it's set in London, right? So kind of their schooling and different things over there is different than what it looks like in America. So she's on summer holiday, and she wants to quit school.
Right.
I'm thinking she's quitting school our senior year or whatever. She's about ready to graduate, so she's just quitting for that last year. No, she's 16 years old. So that would be you're quitting junior or sophomore year. That's a big issue. Who would let their kid quit that early?
Well, and I am basing everything I know about English schools off of episodes of Skins, so grain of salt. But my understanding is, they go through what's our 10th grade, and then 11th, 12th, you either go university track, or you go into, an apprenticeship.
Oh.
Which I think she was trying to go into the apprenticeship, but she had no real plans. And the thing that kind of bugged me...
And nobody really helped, nobody was helping
her. No, nobody was helping her. But the thing was... She, through the whole book, she's cooking, which I guess is stereotypical because she's overweight. But at no point do they say, maybe she should be a chef. And I'm not saying she's just cooking. I'm, she's doing things if you saute it this way, if you add this, the recipe says this, but I'm going to adjust it like that and turn it into this and do this and make this savory instead of sweet. So she actually has, this natural ability that's never touched on.
So, the thing is, it wouldn't necessarily be stereotypical, her cooking. I mean, that could work. But I think it's the obsession, the food obsession. She's keeping a food diary, but she's not even saying, what she's eating. She's just talking about food. And those would have worked better as little brief paragraphs at the beginning of a chapter, as opposed to, the chapter.
Well,
But you're right, and I'm sorry, and so related to kind of getting back to what you were saying, why isn't she going into an apprenticeship to be a chef? That is kind of my natural inclination for her to go to that point, and it never happens. She's trying to get an apprenticeship at a local coffee store,
right.
But this apprenticeship is really just her working the counter. It's never getting into a
not learning to be a manager.
Right, never getting into a level of, actually cooking things in the real world environment where you would be selling them to other people.
Well, and the whole book is about how she's overweight, but to be quite honest, the girl on the cover of the book, not really overweight. To me, she looks kind of average.
See, and I'm okay, though, that they really didn't get into, in this scenario, and I probably feel differently in different places, but in this scenario, I'm okay with not knowing exactly how fat she is, because when you know exactly how heavy somebody is, you have your own concept of what you consider fat, and so you decide, whether you believe what this character is going on and on about or not.
Well, yeah, but when you figure out some of the stuff, how people react to her, the image on the cover does not line up with that.
Fair.
The only part of the book that I kind of liked the possible love interest, but he is like
I did too.
so brief. Like he's barely in
right.
there. I liked the sister and her parkour.
I did too. She was fun.
But like honestly, I probably would have liked the book way better if it was about Dove.
So it took me forever though to realize that she was like 13.
Right?
I thought she was like the same age as the main character.
No, yeah. Actually, at one point I thought she was older.
I did too.
At the beginning. And so it felt very much like a junior version of Bridget Jones's Diary. And I read that back in college, and all the problems I had with that book is the exact same thing. Like the rambling narrative, nothing is properly described, we don't learn anything. Like, we don't really even know, like, hair color for half these people, which I get. You don't need that in some writings, but it just didn't, for a book that's almost 400 pages long, it didn't feel complete.
Fair. That's fair.
We should rate it.
All right.
So our rating system starts at the top with 5 unicorns. We go down to 2 unicorns. If we don't like it, it's a horse.
2 unicorns.
I'm at 2, and that's just because I like little aspects of it, but it took forever. Honestly, if I wasn't stuck at the allergist for 3.5 hours, I might never have finished it.
Fair.
So that is where we are, and my ideal boyfriend is a croissant. And we'll see you around.